talk some stocks as well, some stories on equities we haven't hit, some fun stuff, my senior markets correspondence. But let's start it with the last technical look. Mr. Kevin Green, solid close, right? We didn't really go anywhere, which was like a success.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a nice day.
Since we spoke.
Closing at 56.26 for the S&P 500. So you already kind of talked about it. I mean, every sector was in the green today. You saw actually utilities outperforming. That has been something that's very notable here. And then we're going to be setting up for next week. I mean, we have that 1-year daily chart up right now. We're getting close to the secondary highs, we can call them. And we're going to be trying to test through and break through those next week. And if we're able to do that on really good data and really good sentiment, I think, Oliver, we might be looking forward to a new. Now, if we actually do reverse and we do see some choppiness and the VIX makes a move to the upside here, then we'll start talking about the previous lows here, and if that's something that could be at risk. But for today and for the weekend, let's just enjoy the fact that we were able to recover.
Okay, well said. Let's knock one out of the way. I feel bad. Caroline's smiling. It's Friday. We're all in a good mood, and I'm going to pin Boeing on you, Caroline. Take us through it.
I knew you would start with this.
Sorry.
The prompter says Uber first, and I knew you would start with Boeing because, of course, you want to pick
it's the only
here.
dead money out there. I feel bad for making the Bitcoin comment. Boeing is true dead money.
Well, Boeing shares ended up taking a hit today, down about 3.7% after 33,000 factory workers, of course, went on strike. The aircraft assembly workers walked off the job early today because they couldn't basically come to terms with the contract negotiations or agree on the terms of the contract negotiations. They were being offered a 25% pay raise over 4 years. They didn't want that. They want 40%, so they're officially on strike. There's a lot of uncertainty about how long this could last, how it could play out, but one thing's for certain, it could be costly for Boeing. I saw Jeffries weigh in terms of a number, saying a 30-day strike could cost Boeing $1.5 billion, so quite a hit as it tries to recover, of course, from recent production delays and quality control issues. The CFO said stabilizing the supply chain just got a lot harder after this. And meanwhile, Moody's is placing Boeing on review for a downgrade after this strike could be lowered to junk, as the strike obviously stands to cripple production and also cash flow. So Boeing, it's just another hit to a company that's really been, dealing with quite a bit. But we'll have to see how this plays out. I will say maybe a little bit of an optimistic tone. B of A analyst kept a neutral rating on shares of Boeing, but did say if the Spirit AeroSystems strike and subsequent contract negotiations set a precedent, the strike could potentially be resolved in as little as a week. So maybe then we wouldn't have to worry about that 30-day, $1.5 billion hit. But let's see.
Yeah, it's just they keep giving us new news and finding new ways to lose money. It's like, just when you think, there's always that phrase, kitchen sink. I don't know, maybe they didn't put those on the plane either, Kevin Green, because it seems like there's always a new kitchen sink in this stock.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, if we bring that chart back up, it does look like an inverse head and shoulders that is trying to form here, which would be ultimately bullish. But I'm not sure if anybody really wants to take that risk. Oliver, when you start talking about credit ratings and starting to see potential downgrades and being placed pretty much below investment credit grade there, you start to wonder, maybe is this going to be one of those stocks that may have to leave the Dow, even though it's been in there for a very long time?
Totally.
It would be, when you're kind of looking at it and the credit rating going down, you have all of these issues kind of dragging the company to the downside.
What if they issue shares?
You start to wonder. Yeah, you start to wonder if they could be, plucked out of that Dow 30 here, because you really want high quality names in there, and right now Boeing's just not up to the task there.
Yeah, totally agreed. All right, positive time. Let's go to a winner. Uber up 6.5%, and pretty fun story too, because I'm a big robo-taxi believer. Because I don't have a driver's license, and so robo-taxis would be very helpful for me, Caroline. Don't make fun of me, Caroline.
I had no idea. I didn't realize that, Oliver. I learn something new about you every day. Wow, I have never been in a robo-taxi. They
I'm a
do
vagabond.
freak me out a little bit, but there's a new or an extended partnership between Google-owned Waymo, the driverless, autonomous vehicle company, and Uber, where if you're in Austin or Atlanta next year, you'll be able to hail a driverless Uber, essentially a driverless Waymo on the Uber app. And if they do freak you out a bit, like they do for me, too bad, because they said that you might be matched with the Waymo driverless vehicle regardless.
Oh, really?
One. So that kind of stuck out to me. But they already have a partnership
That's kind of
Phoenix,
crazy.
and Waymo operates individually there as well. Actually, Waymo said it's handling more than 100,000 paid rides a week across San Fran, LA, and the Phoenix area. So I didn't realize quite how popular these are right now, but they stand to get a bit more popular in Atlanta and Austin next year. And yeah, you mentioned Uber share is up 6.5% today. Lyft share is down more than 2% today, so closed well off the lows. It was down more than 5% earlier in the day, but took a hit to Lyft shares, but definitely gave a boost to Uber shares today. So have you ridden in one of these?
Well, that's what I was about to ask. I haven't ridden in them, but I have seen them in San Francisco. And yeah, they're pretty weird with all the gear attached to them and stuff. But it sounds like you won't have an option, Caroline. It sounds like they're going to just pair you up with one, which I think is a little bit twisted. Like that's, I think I should be able to choose if I don't want the robot to drive me.
And what do you do for ratings? Do you rate the driverless vehicle? I don't know. I'm curious about that. But no, hey, if I go to Austin, if I go to Atlanta, or I guess LA, San Fran, or Phoenix, maybe I'll try one out.
Well, that to me, KG, is a big story because, I mean, there's a lot here that I feel also is why Tesla has been trading fairly uniquely, like on its own. Its chart doesn't look like much. I feel like the whole robo-taxi stuff is kind of getting pretty real.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tesla has not had a pretty decent beta to the S&P 500 for a very long time. It's been trading on its own. I mean, we could have up days and Tesla could be down 5%. We could have down days and Tesla's ripping to the upside. So I think it's been very disconnected. What I do find interesting is that Uber is definitely taking it serious. And they've announced several different partnerships over the last month, it seems, in order to try to bolster not only the fleet, maybe being able to offer packages or discounts to some of their drivers when it comes to purchasing vehicles, but also trying to get ahead of the robo-taxi phase by partnering obviously with Waymo. So this is something that they are taking serious, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how it rolls out. I've seen them in San Fran. I've never ridden in one. I would be very curious to see how that would actually work out in the Chicago metro area. I think that would be very exciting to be able to see, the road rage that maybe other drivers might have around an automated driving vehicle here.
I think actually they would do great here. It's a very geometric city, and I think that they should. Chicago and Illinois should be pushing them to test some stuff out here because they can't drive. I've never seen so many busted up cars until I moved to Chicago. People are driving around with just pieces of their cars missing here. It's crazy.
What better place to learn how to drive? I have an idea.
Well, I know how to drive, Caroline.
Oh, you just don't have
go-kart.
I was going to say maybe Elon Musk will give us
I've been a city dweller. I've been a city rat for too long.
Oh, wow. But I mean, you can renew your license.
Just now we're getting into my personal flaws. Now, this is just pure laziness. These are character flaws we're exposing.
All right. I will reach out to Elon Musk about giving you a Cybertruck so that we can do your Oliver Learns to Drive series.
Boom. That would be good. Now, that I would be very much game for. A channel check for all channel checks for the Cybertruck. Hey, last one. By the way, this is an idea I've had for a while. United's going to maybe give people, are they giving people free in-air Wi-Fi, Caroline?
Yeah, starting next year, you'll no longer have to pay $10 or $8 if you're a United cardholder like I am for Wi-Fi because United is partnering up with Elon Musk's Starlink satellite service. Terms of the deal weren't disclosed, but the United Airlines CEO said everything you can do on the ground, you'll soon be able to do on board a United plane at 35,000 feet, just about anywhere in the world. The agreement includes more than 1,000 aircraft with testing starting in early 2025, but the connectivity on the first passenger flights are expected later next year. So give United, United shares were up today, up a little bit more than 1%, but we saw strength, as we talked about earlier, across really all the travel stocks, aside from Southwest and American Airlines. It was green across the board. So not sure how much of a boost this actually gave United shares, but still good news for those of us who travel and are looking for ways to cut costs. I will say, though, if you take a look at Viasat, which is another, basically a competing supplier of Wi-Fi, a company that United uses as well, shares closed down 15%.
Oh, wow.
Now down more than 50%
That's
year to
right.
date. So took a hit on that news for sure.
Great point. Good eyes. Yeah, totally forgot about that.
SAT.
Yeah, wow. Okay, that's a big deal for them. Totally. Yeah, great point. And also, kind of Starlink seems to really be. Starlink kind of seems to be killing it, to be honest. How I guess some of these big corporations, I mean, governments are relying on it and stuff. Give you a quick thought, KG. I know you're a man of innovation and need for connections in rural places.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good technology here, and I'm glad that we're seeing a little bit of competition. And then for the airlines, I mean, it should be free. I mean, it's been a while that we've had, Wi-Fi, and we're still being charged on flights.
So ridiculous.
Good to see that they're making those changes.
I'm so angry that I have to sign in, do the whole process of connecting to the Wi-Fi and then paying for it, that I probably would pay a premium more than $10 just to fly on a flight that I don't have to pay the Wi-Fi for. That's how irrational and how much I hate having to pay for it. Do you use Starlink when you're out on the out fishing? KG, does it work?
No, I don't have
You're gone
Starlink.
fishing.
No.
When you're fishing, you're gone.
Yeah, no.
You're gone.
Yeah. As soon as I lose service, I'm done with it.
All right, fair enough. All right, thanks, guys.